Study hacks that actually work. Ever feel overwhelmed by your studies? You're not alone. We've all been there, staring at a mountain of textbooks, wondering how we'll ever get through it all. The good news is there are ways to make studying less painful, and actually, dare I say, enjoyable. Today, I'm going to share some study hacks that actually work and can help you boost your grades in just a matter of weeks. No, seriously, these aren't your grandma's study tips. We're talking about evidence-based techniques that leverage the way your brain actually learns. These are simple strategies that you can start using right now. No more stress, no more burnout, just smarter studying. So, grab your notebooks, find a comfy spot, and let's dive in. Unlock your memory, the power of active recall. Let's kick things off with one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked study techniques out there, active recall. Now you might be thinking, active what? Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. Active recall is all about ditching the passive highlighting and rereading, we've all been there, and instead, actively engaging your brain to retrieve information. Think of it like a workout for your memory. Instead of passively reading your notes over and over, you're going to quiz yourself on the material. Here's how it works. After you've learned a concept, put your notes aside and try to recall the key points from memory. You can do this by writing down everything you remember, or even better, explaining it out loud to yourself like you're teaching someone else. Try covering up your notes and see if you can explain the concept out loud. Pretend you're teaching it to a friend or even a rubber duck, no judgment here. This forces your brain to actively retrieve information, making it way easier to remember in the long run. Why is active recall so effective? Well, when you force your brain to retrieve information, you're actually strengthening the neural pathways associated with that memory. It's like building a mental muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And the best part? Active recall can be applied to almost any subject. Studying history dates? Use flashcards and quiz yourself. Trying to memorize formulas for physics? Write them down from memory and check your answers. The possibilities are endless. So ditch those highlighters and put your brain to work with active recall. Trust me, your grades will thank you for it. Ditch the cramming spaced repetition for long-term learning. Let's be honest, we've all been there. The night before a big exam, surrounded by piles of notes, desperately trying to cram every last bit of information into our sleep-deprived brains. But here's the thing about cramming. It just doesn't work in the long run. Sure, you might remember enough to scrape by on the test, but a few days later it's all gone, vanished into the abyss of forgotten knowledge. So what's the alternative? Enter spaced repetition, a study technique that's all about outsmarting your brain's natural tendency to forget. Spaced repetition is a technique where you review material at increasing intervals to make sure the information sticks. It's like planting a seed in your brain and then giving it just the right amount of water and sunlight to grow strong roots. The idea is simple. Review what you studied today in a few days, and then again in a week, and then maybe again in a month. Each time you come back to the material, it gets a little easier to recall, and those neural connections become more and more robust. Think of it like this. Imagine trying to learn a new dance move. If you practice it once and then never try it again, chances are you'll forget it pretty quickly. But if you practice it again the next day, and then again a few days later, and so on, you'll eventually master it. The beauty of spaced repetition is that it takes advantage of a natural phenomenon called the forgetting curve. By reviewing material just as you're about to forget it, you're essentially telling your brain, hey, this is important, don't let go. There are tons of tools and apps out there that can help you implement spaced repetition, like Anki or Quizlet. Or, you can keep it simple and create your own spaced repetition schedule using flashcards or a planner. Chapter 3. We've all been there, glued to our desks for hours on end, trying to power through a study session. But then, the inevitable happens: burnout. Our brains feel fried, our focus goes out the window, and suddenly, even the thought of looking at another textbook sends shivers down our spines. But what if there was a way to study smarter, not harder? A way to stay focused and productive without sacrificing our sanity? Well, my friends, say hello to the Pomodoro Technique, your new secret weapon against burnout. The Pomodoro Technique is all about breaking down your study time into manageable chunks, interspersed with short breaks. It's like interval training for your brain. Short bursts of intense focus followed by periods of rest and recovery. Here's how it works. Set a timer for 25 minutes of focused study time followed by a 5-minute break. During those 25 minutes, eliminate all distractions. Put your phone on airplane mode, close those tempting browser tabs, and tell your roommates to hold the interruptions. this is your time to dive deep into the material and really absorb the information. Treat those 25 minutes like gold, they're precious. Once the timer goes off, step away from your desk and give yourself a well-deserved break. Get up and move around, grab a snack, check your phone, just for a minute, or do some quick stretches. The key is to give your brain a chance to rest and recharge so you can come back to your studies feeling refreshed and focused. The beauty of the Pomodoro Technique is its simplicity. It's easy to implement, requires no special tools or equipment, and can be adapted to fit your own study style and preferences. Chapter 4. Let's face it, simply saying I want to do better in school is about as effective as a chocolate teapot when it comes to actually improving your grades. It's vague, it's uninspiring, and let's be honest, it's a one-way ticket to procrastination station. What we need are SMART goals. Goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Think of SMART goals as your roadmap to academic success. They provide clarity, direction, and that extra boost of motivation to help you stay on track. Let's break it down, shall we? Specific means your goal should be crystal clear and well-defined. Instead of saying I want to improve my math grade, a specific goal would be I want to raise my math grade from a C to a B. Next up, measurable. You need to be able to track your progress and see how far you've come. How will you measure your improvement in math? Maybe it's by acing your next quiz, or consistently scoring higher on homework assignments. Now for achievable. It's great to aim high, but your goals should also be realistic and attainable. Don't set yourself up for failure by setting goals that are simply out of reach. Start small, build momentum, and gradually work your way up to those bigger aspirations. Relevant means your goals should align with your overall academic and personal objectives. Why is improving your math grade important to you? Is it because you need a certain grade to get into your dream university program? Or maybe you want to strengthen your problem-solving skills for a future career path? And finally, time-bound. Every goal needs a deadline, a finish line to strive towards. This creates a sense of urgency and helps you stay accountable. Instead of saying I'll improve my math grade eventually, set a specific time frame such as I'll raise my math grade to a B by the end of the semester. So there you have it, the power of SMART goals. Remember, setting goals is only half the battle. The real magic happens when you combine clear objectives with consistent effort, effective study strategies, and a belief in your own abilities. Chapter 5. Let's be real, we've all been there. That moment when you sit down at your desk, ready to tackle a mountain of studying, only to be greeted by a chaotic mess of papers, coffee mugs, and who knows what else lurking in the shadows. Suddenly that textbook you were so eager to open feels less like a gateway to knowledge and more like an unwelcome guest at a cluttered house party. But here's the thing, your study environment matters. A lot. Think of your study space as an extension of your mind, a physical representation of your mental state. A cluttered desk equals a cluttered mind filled with distractions, competing thoughts, and a general sense of overwhelm. On the other hand, a clean, organized, and inspiring study space can work wonders for your focus, productivity, and overall well-being. It's like hitting the reset button on your brain, creating a sense of calm and order that allows you to fully concentrate on the task at hand. So, how do you transform your study space from a disaster zone into a productivity haven? It all starts with decluttering. Channel your inner Marie Kondo and get rid of anything and everything that doesn't serve a purpose or spark joy. Next, invest in some organizational tools. Think drawer dividers, pen holders, file folders, or anything that helps you keep your belongings in check. Remember, a place for everything and everything in its place. But it's not just about being tidy, it's also about creating an environment that inspires and motivates you. Add some personal touches like plants, artwork, or motivational quotes to make your study space feel more inviting and conducive to learning. And don't forget about the little things. Good lighting, comfortable seating, and a clutter-free desktop can make a world of difference. Trust me, your brain will thank you for it. So there you have it, 5 study hacks that actually work. No more cramming, no more burnout, just smarter, more effective studying. Remember, improving your study habits is a journey, not a race. Start by incorporating 1 or 2 of these techniques into your routine and see how they work for you. You can always adjust and experiment along the way until you find what works best for your learning style and preferences. If you want more tips like these, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss out on new content to help you ace your studies. Drop a comment below letting me know which study hack you're going to try first, and share this video with a friend who could use a little study boost.